Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. I think in today's video we are going to get started on some plumbing venting. I don't think really you can mess it up as long as we get everything glued and connected correctly. As long as wherever we're going outside, we get a slope back down. So if water gets in there or condensation, it obviously will drain downhill and go out to the septic system. And then we'll just come back through later and then again, try to start figuring out how actually we're going to be assembling all of the P-traps and stuff like that. But I've got enough material to run all the vents in the house 2-inch, which is what my isometric drawing that I submitted to the county is supposed to be. And then we just gotta try and figure out how to connect them all up into the attic. And again, all of the slopes go the correct way, and then getting them outside of the house. So venting wise, all we really have to do is the laundry room over there, the toilet in the half bath, and that is it. The kitchen island and the half bath sink, those are just gonna be on air emittance valves. And then I think we just need one more or maybe two more over in here in the master bath for the sinks, obviously, the toilet and the shower. So 3 over here and then 2 on the other side of the house. And really they should be pretty straightforward. Obviously we've got a wall right here that we can go up through for the dual sinks. I think the shower is gonna go on this side for the valving and everything. So maybe we'll have to do the venting in this wall or in this 6-inch wall over here. And then obviously again for the toilet, same thing, 6-inch wall in there would make it pretty easy to run a vent up through there. And again, everything will be 2-inch. So I guess let's just get started, knock a couple holes out, put some pipe up into the attic, and then we'll see what it looks like and how it works out. All right, so first thing first, looking at our diagram, hopefully you can see this for the laundry. It looks like we need to be 6 to 18 inches off of the floor to where our P-trap's gonna go, and then however long that's gonna be. And then obviously that's the vent stack right there. So taking a look at this wall right here, it looks like we've got a floor joist right here, 16 inches over, which on this stud, it looks like we have another floor joist. So we should be good that somewhere in this cavity right here, we can go ahead and drill down and put a 2-inch hole. The only thing I knew I had to do was I was lazy and put these 2 boards in here sideways, which now I have to pull them back off and turn them this way. So that way I have a drywall nailing edge on the back side of these walls, because this is a corner right here. And obviously turning these sideways will give me room in between here that I can put my 2-inch hole down through here, because obviously this is kicked out too far. And then everything should be able to go down in here. So actually I can probably drill a 2-inch hole down through here. I'm not gonna hit a floor joist, and we can go straight up for the vent. And then again, as long as we're 16 to 18 inches off here, I should be able to put my P-trap right here somewhere, because my vent or the drain for the laundry is coming down right through here. So P-trap through the wall, down to the waist, up through the vent. So let me knock out this board real quick, drill my 2-inch hole, and then we'll go up into the attic and drill the 2-inch hole up in there too. All right, so this should be fun. I did have to drill through blocking there and blocking there, but I just used the level to get all the holes 100% straight. So now again, we've got going down into the basement for the sewer. We're going up through here for the vent. I just gotta go up in the attic right now. I drilled a pilot hole through the upper top plate. And I'm just gonna go up there, see what's up there, make sure I'm not gonna hit anything. We'll drill our 2-inch hole down this time, and then that should all be 100% aligned. And then we just gotta figure out Actually, we'll take a 2-inch pipe up there. Hopefully we can drop it down. I don't know if this exact spot up in the attic, we have 10 feet to drop a pipe straight down in to see how far it'll come down. But we may have to cut it to like 5 or 6 feet if it's hitting the roof before we can actually get it to drop down in. But it's 85 in the house right now. It's probably 105 up in the attic. So that's why I said this should be fun. But once we get that pipe dropped down, I can put these 2x back in there and try to get some drywall nailers basically for this side of the laundry room. But let's go up in the sweltering heat and let's see where that pilot hole went through. All right, found my pilot hole. It's not too hot up in here, probably because we have venting going on through here as opposed to the house, which is all completely air sealed. It actually feels about the same. But these tri-blend t-shirts with rayon, cotton, and polyester actually don't feel too bad. On the flip side, I can hear some bees. Crap. I noticed some bees before where the existing house roof and the porch roof come together, where it's open underneath of there. They can get up under there and they actually sound like they're up in this venting right here, because down over there in the corner where the two roofs come together, where I don't have it blocked off yet, they can get underneath of the soffit in here. And it sounds like they're making a home, so that's not good. I gotta go over there and probably spray foam that and get that blocked off, and then they're probably gonna be trapped up in here. But I can definitely hear them like scratching and buzzing around. It's always something though, always something. We'll re-spray foam this once we get the pipe up through here. Looks straight as an arrow to me. And I do have to cut this pipe. It is hitting the ceiling before I can get it down in, so we're probably gonna have to go down to about 6 foot or so that we can get it underneath the ceiling and be able to drop it down in. All right, so obviously my holes were straight as an arrow, or that wouldn't have dropped down so easily. But there we go, there's our first vent pipe. So we're gonna have to make an extension somewhere, because that pipe, for example, right there is actually kind of maxed out. There's not really much more pipe up in the ceiling right there. Although, come to think of it, we might actually have to keep dropping that pipe a little bit at a time, coming all the way down in here, because going back up in through this way is actually gonna be hard. So actually, I'm just gonna pull that pipe all the way down and get it down into the basement, and then we'll bring another pipe behind it and we'll find a connection point. All right, so that is one vent pipe sort of kind of done. I don't have a P-trap, but we are gonna have to come out of here, come down, P-trap over, and then I gotta drill a hole, which actually I'll probably do right now. I'll drill a hole through that 2x right there, so that way I know my horizontal as I'm going into that pipe. And then we just have to cut that pipe down there, and luckily enough, we can push up or we can push down to get everything in there, because my holes are properly aligned. So that'll be easy to manipulate that and move it around. All right, I did just modify that real quick. This board right here, since this is literally only a drywall nailer for the opposite side in the laundry room, this 2x4 right here does absolutely nothing. So I just went ahead and notched that out, because when I cut this pipe right here, that's gonna be a Sani T, which of course will have to drain downward where the the Y extension sticks out, but it's not a Y fitting, it's a Sani T, and it will drain down. And when I cut this pipe, I'll have to install it, and then I'll have to swing this pipe over so it's facing this way. And then I can just take my little nub pipe, stick it through here, and I'll be able to have room in here to glue and everything. And then I just need a P-trap coming up to this guy right here, and then this wall will be completely done. So inspector again shouldn't yell at me for notching a 2x, because again, that 2x there is only a nailer. That wall is still completely held up all the way from floor to ceiling on that king stud. So the king stud was not hurt. The only other thing that I have to do, which you always have to remember, is to install your screw plates. So it doesn't matter which side we go from, although this side would be a little bit more detrimental over here. We need to put that plate down there so that we can't put a drywall screw when we're hanging this sheet right here. Obviously you don't want to go through there. And as for this side, I'm probably gonna have to remove this piece of drywall right here, because we're gonna have to put one down over there if it is there, but I don't think it is. I think it's in center line. Yeah, we don't have to, because this right here is the end of that wall, and the pipe is a good 2 inches over here. So the only reason why I was saying you might need a drywall nailer down in there is when we're actually putting on the trim board in this room. But there's no way that we can hit that pipe unless we've got like a 4-inch screw and we go right through this corner at an angle. That's the only way a 4-inch screw would be able to be long enough to actually get over to the vent pipe, or the sewer pipe. Actually, it'll be at that point. Well, let's go over to the half bath now, and now let's see where we're actually gonna vent the toilet at. All right, so coming into the half bath, you can see we've got our toilet mocked up. This is thankfully to one of you guys, because with the door being wider than what normal doors are in this house, you can see that you can kind of see into the toilet. Well, the toilet protrudes less into the doorway going that way by putting a corner toilet in. So I was thinking, were we gonna put the toilet like straight on? Were we gonna put it over here somewhere and have it face out more? But one of you guys had mentioned that, Scott, they make corner toilets. So this gives you a lot more room inside of the half bath now. So we're way more further away from the door over here. We've got options to hang the toilet paper, which is why I put this blocking in here. We've got a lot more room over here, and you can stand up, and it just makes the room a lot bigger by putting in a corner toilet. So thanks for one of you guys to tell me that they actually make those, and that fits this space a heck of a lot better. Oh, and if you guys are new to the channel, asking Scott, why are you putting in an AEV or an air emittance valve for this sink? For two reasons. One, I don't want to put a 2-inch pipe into the ICF wall and worry about venting that over into the attic. And of course, someone's going to say, well, obviously just put it right here. But the vanity that we are going with is a hickory vanity, which has been sitting here for a while. And that vanity isn't 100% the same size as the room. So there's about 3 to 4 inches on each side of this vanity that you would obviously be able to see a pipe sticking out the side of the vanity and then going up through that side wall. And to me personally, with my OCD, I think it would just look stupid to put the vanity in and like push it all the way against this wall and then having like a 6 or 7 inch gap over here. That would just look stupid. So the vanity is going to be straight. There's going to be a 3-inch gap on each side of the vanity, unfortunately. And again, I don't want to see a pipe sticking out the side of it to go up through this wall. And the county approved an air emittance valve for this sink, so not a big deal, and I don't really care about it. And then as for the venting, I did place a spot on here. The toilet does need to have its hole a certain inches off from each wall. I believe it's 12 inches. I'll have to look at my notes to be 100% sure on that. But you need to be at least 12 inches away, and I think we're more like 14 or something, maybe even 15, because we've got some good distance back in here. And the reason why I ended up having to do like 14, 14 or 15, 15 is because we've got a floor joist where I actually want this toilet to go. If I could actually put this back to 2 inches or 2 more inches, so we would have 12 and 12. Unfortunately, like right here on that blue tape is a floor joist, so I had to pull the toilet away from the wall this way. This way I have all the room in the world, but unfortunately, once again, you got to think about what's below you, and again, there's a floor joist, so we had to push it away a little bit more, but I'm assuming I'm going to put my vent up through this wall right here. But now that I'm noticing it, I am going to have to put in a couple pieces of blocking right here because these walls are very flimsy without the 4-foot and 8-foot blocking. So I'm going to have to cut those out first, and then I'll have to drill my 2 inches holes all the way down, just like I did over there. And then we'll get this vent pipe set. Well, crap. Unfortunately, somebody at the store decided to put the 2-inch connectors, both the ones that pass all the way through and the ones with the internal stoppers, in all of the same bin. And I don't feel like using the ones that pass all the way through for this section. I just don't feel comfortable with that. It won't be 100% seated with 2 pipes in the middle. So good job for, you know, putting these in the wrong bin, but I gotta go exchange all these ones now for the correct ones so that I can get the internal stopper in. And then I'll attach one more piece of pipe over here. That will then go down into the basement, and then those 2 will be done. And I guess I'll just have to restart again tomorrow. Not a big deal though. It's 96 degrees in here, it feels like, and I am dying. So we'll go get our P-traps and our 2-inch connectors, and I think for the kitchen sink, we're probably going to step down to an 1.5 inch pipe because I think that is code. So while we punch up through the floor over here in between where our hot and cold are for the kitchen island and where the hot water is for the washing machine or the dishwasher, I'm probably just going to do an 1.5 inch, because if you guys missed my previous video where I had mentioned LVLs for structural support, like the main beam that I have running through the basement, that is not allowed to be drilled through anything more than 2 inches. So all of the holes that I've drilled through it so far have all been under that. One I've passed wire through by only using a 1/2 inch bit. I've got 5H lag bolts, which are going through every single joist at a W pattern going all the way down, but those aren't hurting the structural integrity because it's actually bolting it and holding it together. And then the biggest water line I think I put through was like 5/8, which is all the way over here. So kitchen sink can't be 2-inch pipe because the outside diameter, that hole saw bit that I'm using right now, I believe is 2 3/8 of an inch outside diameter. And I'm not allowed to put a 2 3/8 hole through that center beam. So we've got to go down to 1.5 inch pipe, and hopefully the outside diameter of that is exactly 2 inches. And that's gonna have to punch down somewhere over here in the gym, which right here in this second bay. So yeah, we need to step down to 1.5 inches, and then that 1.5 inches has to run all the way over to here. And it looks like that is the washing machine right there, punched down right over top of that light. You probably can't see it, but there's a hole in the insulation now where that pipe got pushed through. So we'll have to come down through the second bay, cut through this I-beam from the second to the third to the second, join those 2 up, and then we need to run all the way down there, which is where all of the main drain line and sewage is going to go. Which, if we walk down over here, you can see I've got a 4-inch sleeve out through the ICF wall, And this 4-inch sleeve over here is either going to be actually 4-inch, so we can run 3-inch up through here and then go from 4 or 3 down to 4 and then 4 going out to the septic, or we use that as a sleeve and we leave the 3-inch going out. But that means through this pipe right here, we'd have to put a pipe inside of a pipe, which means we need to put spray foam and silicone caulking and everything like that, so water doesn't flow through there one day. But I'll decide with a plumber's help going out to the septic if we actually want 4-inch or can we neck down to 3-inch. But either way, most of the main drain line throughout the entire house will be 3-inch, and then right there at that corner we can go up to 4-inch, and then it can snake on out and go out to the septic. So that means that we either need to drop a 3-inch pipe through every one of these floor joists, which we'd have to start all the way back there at a floor joist all the way up at the top, and then by the time we get all the way over there, we'll be at the bottom of the floor joist so we have enough pitch. Or we're gonna have to make a bulkhead, especially in this room right in here, where it'd be a lot easier to take a 3-inch pipe high over there and then low over here, and we just have to build a bulkhead. Bulkheads are ugly, but because it would be directly bolted against that back wall, it's only gonna come out a few inches, drop down, and then go back in, and it won't really be that sightly. Because again, you're only going from the gym wall to the bedroom wall over there. It's not gonna be that sightly. And then when you're in this bedroom over here, again, just a tiny little bulkhead from that corner over there until we actually are gonna box out that pit in there. So that pit is actually gonna build a really tiny little room around it. So when you're sleeping in this bedroom, you don't really hear the sump pump going off and stuff like that and water draining down that pipe. We'll insulate it and make a door and everything in the bedroom. So you'll have to open up the door inside of that bedroom to look inside of there to maintenance the sump pump and make sure there's no leaks and anything like that. But, you know, again, it's not the end of the world. The gym wise though, we'll have a little bulkhead, you know, maybe 4 foot long that will contain that one. But again, just depends if we're going to put the pipe up in the joists or if we're going to put them below and do a bulkhead. I just have to decide later. So off to the store we go tomorrow. So I will see you guys back then. All right, everybody, back at it in our neck of the woods. One thing that I forgot to mention yesterday is I forgot we actually have to do another vent. We actually have 3 on each side of the house. It makes sense that I should check my own isometric drawing, but I've got to put another vent in right over here in the laundry room. I forgot that we're running a utility tub, although it's not a utility tub. And the reason why we're not running a utility tub next to the washing machine, which 100% of America probably does, is the fact for 2 reasons. One, talking about code, the utility tub can't be more than like 30 inches away from where the P-trap is. So where that up and down is, if I were to tap in, say right here, I can't go more than 30 inches that way. Well, as you can see, this is probably why plumbers start first, because we've got water lines in the way, we've got electric in the way. Once again, I was lazy and turned board sideways, so these would have to be removed so that I could put that in there. And that's just all a big pain in the butt that I don't want to do. Not to mention, we want to go washing machine, dryer, utility tub, and going all the way over in that corner in an 8-foot room. We obviously are well beyond 30 inches to get all the way over to here or to get all the way over to here. So we wouldn't be code by putting in a utility tub. So what we actually are gonna do is we're just gonna put in just a regular vanity sink. So that way when you come in from the outside, you're dirty and you got stuff all over you, you take everything off, you can throw it in the washing machine, you can wash your hands right here and be done, and then enter into the clean house. So for right here, because we are beyond that 30 inches and it's gonna be a regular vanity, we're just gonna stub this out just like if this was a regular vanity in a bathroom or anything like that. So we've gotta go down for sewer, up for venting, although technically speaking, we could go over in this wall, but once again, we've got more drilling to do through the wall. We've got to remove those 2 2x4s. That's just all a big pain in the butt. I don't feel like doing that. So we might as well just punch up just through 2 pieces of blocking and the top plate and connect the vents up into the ceiling. So that's the way the isometric drawing is that I did anyway. And these 2 vents will be linked up with the vent that we put in the bathroom yesterday. So that's what we got to do today. We've got to connect everything up in the attic. I've got to do one more and go down into the basement for the sewer. And then down in the basement, we'll connect this one into that one over there. And then we'll truck these two over into the main line. Or eventually, like where the toilet hooks up to, we'll like try to get them all together near the main line. So that's what we got to do. I just didn't want to forget about one more that we actually have to do. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what did I get today? Well, I'm actually pretty happy about this. The piping was about $500 and some, and all of the fittings, and this is everything that hopefully will do the entire house. It's not just the vent stacks in this video. I've got enough fittings hopefully to do the entire freaking house. The fittings, including the air admittance valves and some extra glue, and even like a $20 plug that we'll shove in one of the pipes with a Schrader valve so we can stick the air compressor on there and do the entire system with air, which of course is code. You have to let it sit for 24 hours and you can't have any air leak out after 24 hours. So all of that included, about $400 some. So we're $900 into everything. And if you guys remember, we had a plumber quote us $10,000 to do the sewer plumbing only in our house. That's not the water lines. That's not me running the PVC piping and finishing out the intake and exhaust for the 2 hot water tanks in the basement. That's literally the sewer plumbing only, $10,000. And so far, we are $900 in. And hopefully this will do absolutely everything. So freaking, I could rip this out 9 times and keep making mistake after mistake that the county won't approve me, and I still will be under that plumber. And if you want to add this plumbing in to the plumbing quote that we got down in the basement to do all of the radiant floor, that means the boiler and the pumps and the fittings and pipes on that back wall, we got a quote of $33,000 for that. And I think that entire utility room for all of the plumbing, I didn't spend over $2,000 or $3,000. So we're like $40,000 saved at this point right now. So that makes me very happy that we were able to get all of this for so cheap, even though it is more expensive, especially in this day and age with the price of everything. And people are probably gonna comment that I probably spent too much anyway, because this piping right here, as you can see, it's got all red lettering on it. And what that basically means is the red lettering means that that pipe is solid PVC pipe through and through, which means that on that center core right there, this is just solid plastic. They do make PVC piping with black lettering, and that basically means the inside of there is a foam core. So it's like a plastic inner shell, plastic outer shell, and then foam in the middle. It is cheaper, it's a lot lighter, but I don't think it holds up as well over time. So, and it definitely isn't as strong, I don't think, if you were to like drive a truck over it. But let's face it, this is hanging in our basement. It's never gonna see a truck drive over it, but I did spend a little bit more. I wanted the good stuff. I wanted the strong stuff. So everything in the house is solid PVC. There is no crappy foam core, so take that as you will. Now, since I'm only doing venting in this video, I did want to talk about a few things on the fittings real quick. For example, I did decide that 4-inch line down in the basement, that is not going to be a sleeve, that is going to be the pipe. So the first thing we have here is we've got this will attach to that 4-inch PVC pipe. There's a clean out on this side. So this guy is gonna go straight out to the septic tank. So if we ever need to unplug something or get down into the septic tank, which I don't think you ever would need to, you can detach this right here and you've got a straight shot out to the tank that we can clean this out. And then if you're noticing that fitting right there, this is a Y fitting, and I got a long sweep Y. Now, why did I get a long sweep? Because that is going down in a basement or into a bedroom. So if we were to have a short fitting, something more like that, like a little stubby guy, I think the water doesn't flow as well through the shorts. I think long sweeps flow better. And because this is a main line going down for all of the house waste, I think the long sweep will flow better. Hopefully when it drops from the ceiling down into that fitting, it doesn't like hit really hard like if it were to hit in this fitting. So hopefully that'll keep the noise down if someone flushes a toilet or something. It'll just flow a lot easier. And I also did all long sweeps on all toilets. So anywhere where we have a toilet, it just sweeps better, it flows better, and I just think everything in the house will perform a little bit better. So long sweeps for the toilet and the main waste. We've got short sweeps basically anytime where one of these Y fittings come in, which Y fittings can go basically only horizontal, or they can go on like a horizontal plane like that with a little bit of an uptake. So obviously the water's flowing down into it. But Y fittings do not go vertical like this. That's where you need sanities. So these are only going to be used for going down the main line all the way through the house, when like this, for example, would be like the bathroom sink or the shower or something. It'll come into that side right there and then flow on down in that direction. And you don't need a long sweep for that because it's pretty much going to be sitting on its horizontal plane like that. And it's not really going to be coming down from anything high vertical. So don't think long sweeps are needed for those, but those will be for that. I do have a plumber coming over to kind of help guide me through and walk through a bunch of stuff. So that'll be in another video, but at least right now for today, let's finish out all of the vent stacks and figure out where the air admittance valves are actually going to go. And then hopefully by the end of tonight, we'll have this video wrapped up and we'll have all of the venting actually 100% done. All right, I'm probably not gonna get done tonight, but at least I got done with this side. So we're simply just coming up for the toilet over here. I made sure all the slopes are correct. So we are sloping downhill over to the toilet from the laundry vent. And then we're snaking around over here. And last, we're going down into the laundry room for the utility tub or the vanity sink. And then we're going up and out. And again, everything slopes downhill. So again, any water that can collect in there at all, it's just gonna dribble down there and probably just go straight down into the sewer system and out to the septic because of right there. But any condensation that could form under these pipes in here, again, that's just gonna drain downhill every single time. So this side of the house is completely done. The only other thing I do have to do is I have to go outside and I have to glue on one of these caps, and then we can pressurize the system when we're completely ready. But that'll at least keep birds and bugs out for now, just to throw this cap on. And then back down in the house, you guys saw me stub out the vanity sink right there, and it is capped off, so we can pressurize this system. We just need to pick a vanity now and slide it on in there, and then that will have a drain. And then of course we need to work on water lines later. And then off camera, as I was trying to figure something out over there with the utility tub, I went ahead and finished this over here, except I got to finish that pipe going down into the basement. So simply just P-trapped over. Hopefully we have enough room in there. I don't know if an inspector is going to yell at me for that. You do have to have some distance in between where the P-trap comes up to where you start to fall, because that will almost kind of act as an S-trap, and S-traps are illegal now. So I think the minimum is a 4-inch run, which I do have about 4 inches in there from the vertical over to the vertical to where it starts to fall down. So again, hopefully that acts as a P-trap and not an S-trap. But that is the laundry done. Obviously the vent has been done. And then over in here, we went ahead and obviously got the toilet over here done. So everything is stubbed down into the basement. It is ready for us to start putting on 90 bends and stuff, whether they be short bends or long sweeps, depending on how much rise and fall we actually need to play with. But again, this side of the house, vent stacked, completely done. Now I just gotta move over to the master bedroom. Now, I might actually not knock these out in this video. Everything's gonna be exactly the same that I just did over there. I do wanna talk to a plumber though. like for the shower vent, if it's gonna, or the shower drain, if it's gonna go right here, where is an acceptable wall that he could think that a vent stack could go up through. The toilet over here is obviously dead easy. It's just gonna go back through up there. And the shower, or the sinks, like I said, the only available wall I really have is right here. And putting this right here hopefully will be even and close, that we can get the toilet and the shower over here and bring them together, and we can just put them in right through up here and then punch out that gable end wall like we did in, I think, the last video or maybe 2 videos ago. But you guys get the idea. Venting, not that hard, as long as you follow the code and you don't put too many things on. Like over there, we have only 3 items all coming together, and then a 2-inch pipe going out the side of the house. So we're only venting the washing machine, 1 toilet, and 1 sink. If you had a 2-inch pipe going out your gable end wall or up through your roof, but you started adding more and more things onto it, like if we could add the kitchen vent on, we could add the shower vent and another toilet, another sink, you start having too many items now out of just a 2-inch pipe. I think it's like 11 items, but again, I don't think the items count as just 1 item. Like a washing machine may count as actually 4 items because of how much volume of water it flows. But then like 1 single sink may only count as 1.5 vents because it's such a small trickle of water. And then obviously a toilet's probably large too because such a large volume of water rushes out at once. So you can't have every single item in your house, like 20 items, all going out through a 2-inch stack. You may have to step up to a 3-inch stack to allow more air down into the system. But that over there is probably 1,000% overkill. Everything being 2-inch and only having 3 items on it, I'm probably nowhere near maxing that system out. But again, I kind of overdo everything. We'll never have to worry about ventilation problems in the house. And if we do 2-inch over here again for just a shower, a toilet, and 2 sinks, again, never have a ventilation problem by doing everything 2-inch and going out through the outside of the house at 2-inch and not ever needing to step up to 3-inch. So totally not worried about it at all, but that's what I got for you guys. So hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully you learn a little bit. Hopefully I did it right. If I did it wrong, then don't learn from me. But we'll see what my dad's plumber friend says. And worst thing, like I said, that can happen, the county denies something. If they deny this S-trap over here, the worst case scenario, what we may have to do is we would have to switch the water line and the drain line, which should be easy to do as long as I have enough water line that can snake on over. And that would put that drain like 6 more inches over to the side by just swapping those out. So worst case scenario, I cut that out and I have to add in like 6 more inches of pipe. So I'm not spending anywhere near the $10,000 that somebody else wanted me to pay to them. And little fixes here and there, if I fail per the code, is not really that big of a deal. So until next time, I will see you guys later. If you've got anything to say, comment down below like always. Like the video if you learned something or if you enjoyed it. And you can hit us up on NeckofTheWoods 2020 on Instagram to personal message us. And maybe if you guys want to pick up a t-shirt or something, let us know. Until then, we'll see you guys all next time. Take care.